First law, the law of pure potentiality. The field of spirit, the field of soul, is the field of pure potentiality. Your mind thinks in limitations, but your spirit is infinite, unbounded, eternal, beyond space-time and causality, and therefore there's no limitation. Whatever consciousness can imagine, it can accomplish, and once it does that, it imagines something more, because imagination is also a never-ending horizon. So your soul is that part of you. And in order to get in touch with your soul, you have to get past the secret passages and the dark alleys and the ghost-filled attics of your mind, which is the problem. Your soul is in the space between your thoughts. It's the stillness that is the field of pure potentiality. And there are three ways of getting there. One is through meditation. So when you practice meditation, very slowly your mind settles down and goes past the turbulence and then gets quieter and quieter and quieter till it finally slips into the field of pure potentiality. The second way is through the practice of non-judgment, because 99.9% of our internal dialogue is about judgment. We're always trying to classify things as good and bad, right and wrong. I've never believed that self-righteous morality is any indication of spirituality. As H.G. Wells, the English playwright, once said, self-righteous morality is just jealousy with a halo. So, actually, even Jesus Christ said, he who is without sin should cast the first stone. So when you stop judging, you say, you start your day, today I'll judge nothing that happens. And by judging nothing that happens, I'll create silence in my mind. It's an absolutely amazing experience. You feel much lighter, physically, emotionally, because to carry the burden of judgment is a huge thing. So you just say to yourself, today I shall judge nothing that happens. And in doing so, I will create silence in my mind and get in touch with my spirit. See what happens. And every time you catch yourself in a judgment, just stop and say, next. Okay? So that's the second way of activating the law of pure potentiality. And the third way of activating is to commune with nature, because nature is the body of the spirit. You know, the trees are your lungs. Without them, you wouldn't be able to breathe. If the trees didn't breathe, you wouldn't breathe. If you didn't breathe, the trees wouldn't breathe. They are our extended lungs. The earth is our recycled body. We commune with the earth and it recycles through us as our physical body. The rivers and waters are our circulation. The air is our breath, and the stars and galaxies with all their infinite particles of light is what creates the universe, and ultimately we are beings of light as well. The second law is the law of giving and receiving, because the universe operates through circulation. Anytime you stop the circulation, what happens if you stop the circulation in your blood? You start to form a clot, and the clot ultimately kills you. Our breath also moves as an on and off and on and off phenomenon. In the universe, everything is circulating. There's no such thing as non-change. As soon as you stop something from transforming, you lead to disaster. So the law of giving and receiving says that as long as I keep things circulating, even abundance, I'll have abundance in my life. And you want to equate giving with receiving. So when you practice, I practice these laws on 7 different days of the week. So on Sunday I practice the law of pure potentiality. In my mind, that's most important. On Monday I practice the law of giving and receiving. So on Monday I say to myself that everybody I meet or visit or go to today, I'll bring them a gift. Okay, and that gift could be something material that they need, or it could be a flower, or it could be a happy thought, or it could be a compliment. It doesn't matter, but I will meet whoever I meet today, I will offer a gift to them, silently sometimes. In the same spirit, I will receive the abundance of the universe. I will be open to the abundance of the universe. And so that's the second thing I'll do. And the third thing I'll do is I'll experience gratitude, because gratitude keeps circulation alive. So even if you were to close your eyes right now and just close your eyes for a moment and think of all the things that you could be grateful for, all the things that you have, all the people that care about you, all the love you share, and there are so many things to be grateful for. And if you just think of that, suddenly, you know, something very interesting happens. Your ego moves out of the way. You can't be grateful and have an ego dominating your awareness. And when you move your ego out of the way, you open yourself to the giving and receiving and the circulation of the universe. The third law is the law of karma. The law of karma, in the word karma simply means action. The law of karma is also what you sow, you reap. So every action that you perform sets off a series of events in the universe. And ultimately karma is like an echo from the past that comes back to us as well. And therefore, to activate the law of karma, you have to do 2 or 3 things also. The first is recognize that in every moment of your life you have a choice. And you don't have choice between this or that. You have infinite choices. For example, right now, I have the choice to stand on my head. Okay? I have the choice to stop giving this lecture and just walk out on all of you. I have the choice to say, oh, how beautiful you are, which you are. And I have so many choices this moment in my life. And out of all those choices, there's one choice which is the most evolutionary. But in any case, just to recognize the law of karma, the first thing is to recognize that I'm a choice maker. You're not a bundle of conditioned reflexes and nerves that's constantly being triggered by people and circumstance into predictable outcomes. So just to say, from now on, I'll make my choices consciously. I will know that every moment is a moment of choice, and therefore every moment is a moment of power. That's the first way you activate the law of karma. The second way you activate the law of karma is that you say, okay, if this is a choice that I make, when I make these choices, what are the consequences of this choice? Are they evolutionary? Are they good? Now, of course, the human mind cannot compute that, but your body can. So you say, should I do this? And then you listen to your body. And if your body makes a little signal of comfort, then go for it. If your body feels a little uncomfortable, stop. That's all you have to do. You have a great computer here, and it's plugged into the cosmic computer. And your body will give you all the right answers if you ask the right questions. That's the second way you activate the law of karma. And third way you ask yourself also is, you know, other people are going to be affected by my choices, not just me. As a result of that, will it increase the experience of love and happiness in their life? And if it is so, then again, that's a karmically correct choice. See, what we're doing this is we're activating the laws through which the universe, which in its basic state is an unmanifest field of intelligence, how the universe conceives, constructs, and becomes physical reality. We just have to copy that, you know. Just have to, in our life, simulate what's already happening in nature, because we're part of nature, we're not outside of nature. Okay, so those are 3 ways we activate the law of karma. Conscious choice making, listening to the body, saying, is this karmically good for me? And then the third one, is this karmically good for which says that in nature, as I started out by saying, there's the principle of effortless spontaneity. And we say in a phrase, what does that mean? It means do less and accomplish more. And then at the ultimate level of being, do nothing and accomplish everything. Okay, so when you are doing very little and accomplishing a lot, that's the law of least effort. And that happens in nature all the time. You know, there's no friction, there's no resistance in nature. So how do I do that? Well, for the first thing is, you have clarity of what you want to accomplish. So, you know, you say to yourself, I want to achieve such and such goal. This is my goal, and I will function with effortless spontaneity. How? By recognizing that the world is a mirror. Every moment of my life, whatever is happening in my life, is a mirror of what's happening in myself. So when I feel resistance, I say to myself, what is it am I resisting? Okay. I practice this insight. I have this insight that if I'm meeting resistance in whatever I'm doing, then I'm doing something wrong. And most frequently, by the way, what you're doing wrong is you're trying too hard. When you try too hard, you turn people off, you know, you seem anxious, you seem so goal-oriented. People say, what's wrong with this person? You also feel, other people feel that you're feeling insecure because you're trying so hard to impress them, etc.
So the fifth law of success is the law of intention and desire, which basically says that everything that we do starts with an intention and a desire. And the clearer we are on what we want to manifest, the more likely we are to actually see that happen in our life. So when it comes to yoga, we teach people that just get clear on what you want to do. Envision the intention that you want to see manifest, and then very effortlessly move yourself into that mode. And as people see that, they have an intention to hold this particular posture or to get into a new balance pose, and they find that by being very present with that, they manifest that. It gives them the confidence that outside of yoga, they set a clear intention, they're able to manifest it in their lives.
There's a very beautiful expression in the Vedanta. It says, you are what your deepest desire is. As is your desire, so is your intention. As is your intention, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny. So if you want to fulfill your desires, first of all, know exactly what you want. Okay? And don't focus on what you don't want, because if you focus on what you don't want, you'll get what you don't want too. So think of what you want, not what you don't want. Write it down. Okay, write down what your material wants are. What are the things that you want? Write down what your wants are in terms of achievement. What do you want to achieve? Write down what your wants are in terms of relationships and in the area of love and belongingness. Write down what your wants are in the terms of creative expression. Write down what your wants are in terms of community and what you want to do for the world, and write down what your desire is in your connection with God or the mystery of our existence. When you have total clarity of what you want, then take that into the silence of the gap, the space between your thoughts, and release them over there. And having released them, let them go. Don't chase them. Okay, and don't get involved in the details, because the details are handled by the universe. If you get involved with the details, you might mess it up. So let me tell you how to do that right now, okay? You want to just close your eyes for a second and think of what you want in 12 months from now. And think in terms of, for this moment, don't even write it down. Just close your eyes and see where you want to be 12 months from now. In terms of material abundance, in terms of creative expression, in terms of love and belongingness and relationships, in terms of achievement. And see yourself as having already accomplished it. Okay, say, it's done. And now see what is happening around you as you have already accomplished it. Okay, see yourself in that situation, experience the conversation that's going on about your great achievements and what you've done. feel any emotions that may come up, just imagine that you're already there. And now let it go. And just start keeping your eyes closed. Just practice the so-hum meditation as we did. So where every in-breath, experience the vibration of so, and with every out-breath, experience the vibration of hum. So now you've let go, you've released your intentions, and now you're going into the gap. So hum. Just go slowly with that. And let's say we're doing it for 5 minutes or so. Okay, so 5-10 minutes of that, and then keeping your eyes closed. Now put your attention in your heart and silently say to yourself, peace, harmony, laughter, and love. And now just leave that, relax into your body, and then take a minute or so and open your eyes. Okay, that's how you practice the law of intention and desire. Have absolute clarity of what you want, visualize it, feel it, see it, hear it, then release it, then go into the gap, which is the field of all possibilities. Okay, and at the end of it, going into the gap is the meditation process. At the end of it, reinforce what's really important. Because, you know, if you want a lot of money, it's because you want to have peace, harmony, laughter, and love. If you want a good relationship, you want peace, harmony, laughter, and love. If you want to be the head of your company, you want peace, harmony, laughter, and love. The goal of all goals is ultimately a spiritual goal.
The sixth law of success is the law of detachment, which is often difficult for people because we're so used to holding on and aggressively pursuing what we're looking for. But the law of attachment actually says that sometimes by letting go, we're more likely to get it than by forcing our way into the situation. In fact, if you have two people wanting something, whoever's the more detached is actually more likely to get it. Whether or not it's doing a business transaction or engaging in a relationship, if you're feeling desperate, if you're feeling that without something you can't possibly go on, you're actually in a very vulnerable situation. Where if you're in that sense of, you know, I can take it or leave it, you're actually much more likely to manifest the outcome that you're looking for. So we teach people that when they're trying to get into a yoga pose, instead of forcing their way, they just have this very easy, effortless, detached attitude. And they notice that instead of straining, by releasing, by detaching, they're actually able to get into that posture. So it reinforces that spiritual law that by not holding on so tightly, you often get exactly what it is that you're hoping for.
What does the law of detachment say? It says that if you really want something in the physical universe, then you have to detach yourself from the outcome. A good gardener puts a seed in the ground, covers it up, then waters every day the ground with his attention, but he doesn't dig up the soil every day to see how it's doing. Right? So like that, you have to be process-oriented, not outcome-oriented. It means I'm walking this road because I want to get there, but my real purpose right now is to walk this road, because if I keep looking over there, I'm going to stumble at some point. Pay attention to what is and see its fullness in every moment. So in order to do this, be life-centered, present moment awareness. Remember that the only step that's really real in your life is the one you're taking right now. Okay, pay your attention to the journey, and the destination will come. Okay, don't even worry when you get to the destination. They say a good traveler has no definite plans and has no intention of arriving. Okay, so be a really good traveler. Enjoy the journey. Don't stumble by getting all worked up about the outcome. Just like when you're studying for an exam. If you're always thinking of what grade I'm going to get, when are you going to study? Focus your attention on the study and the grades will come. So one thing that law of detachment means is process orientation. Second is have intensity of desire but detachment from outcome. And that means be focused in the moment. This moment is as it should be, and it's the perfect moment. That's also, by the way, how we activate least effort. And then also have an alert witnessing of the roles you're playing. And recognize that you're not the role you play. Okay, for example, somebody just now told me she was an actress. Okay, a good actor, a good actress has to play many roles. You know, so one day you're playing Cleopatra, and the next day you're playing Aphrodite or somebody else, and the next day you're playing Joan of Arc. But there's a part of you that says, you know, those are roles I played, that's not really me. Similarly, right now, your ego is the role you're playing. And in one day, your ego may play many roles. So, you know, I play the role of a father when I talk to my son. I play the role of a son when I talk to my mother. I play the role of a teacher when I talk to you. I play the role of a doctor when I think of a patient. And so my deeper part says it's my destiny to play an infinity of roles, but I'm not the roles I'm playing. I'm the spirit that plays these roles. And as long as I identify myself with the spirit, with the detached observer, then I enjoy the roles. And I play them with passion. Okay? But, you know, if you get so totally identified with your roles and the melodrama of the roles, then, you know, when there's something bad happening, you'll be crying, and there's something bad happening, you'll be laughing. As a person pays you a compliment, you'll be happy. A person says you're an idiot, you'll be offended for the rest of your life. So you become at the mercy of every stranger on the street. If you want to be empowered, then detach and become the witness of the roles you play.
The final law is what's known as the law of dharma, which means purpose in life. And the idea is that everybody has a purpose, and the way that you find your purpose is by listening to your heart and listening to your body. That there aren't any spare parts in this universe, that everybody has a unique talent, and that if we play to our talents but also reinforce those parts of our lives which maybe require a little bit more attention, then we can create balance and strength and flexibility, which is what we're all looking for in our lives.
Dharma is an Indian word which means the evolutionary impulse of the universe. It also means what's your unique position in the world, because according to the law of dharma, the universe is like a big jigsaw puzzle, and you're part of the piece, you're a piece in the puzzle, and there are no spare parts in the universe. Everything fits with everything else. And so the law of dharma says that when you're doing what's unique to you, and that unique ability of yours, your unique talent of yours, somehow serves the web of life, then you'll get everything that you want in life. That all you have to do is find out what your unique talents are, number one. Number two, you have to figure out how those unique talents serve the needs of the web of life, the ecosystem, the web of relationships. And then you have to do that thing with passion. You know that poem of Rumi's that I love so much. I want to sing like birds sing, not worrying who listens or what they think. So everybody that's alive has a unique talent or maybe a couple of unique talents. And they're so good at doing that that when they express their unique talents, they lose track of time. Time doesn't mean anything. It's like playing. And figure out what's that thing. Let's say you had all the money in the world and you had all the time in the world. Then what would you be doing? Would you be singing on the streets or in the park? Well, then maybe that's what you are, a great singer. Okay, would we be traveling all over the world? Maybe then you should have a travel agency, etc., etc. Write down what your unique talent is. Ask yourself, what would I do if I had all the money and time in the world? And also, what do I now do that when I do it, I lose track of time? I'm so happy, so blissful that time flies. And then say, now how can I serve people with that? And how can I have passion in that service? And you're expressing the law of dharma. You've joined the evolutionary impulse of the universe. Nothing will stop you, because you will do everything with passion and